Show them you are better than him. Show them you are a better player than Messi and can win a World Cup. These were the words that Joachim Löw told Mario Gotze in the 88th minute of the 2014 FIFA World Cup final. And he delivered. He would go on and score in the extra time of the match to secure Germany a fourth World Cup title. But many may argue that this was the moment that marked the downfall of his career. Follow me as I unveil the story of Mario Gotze and how the most important goal in his career would also lead to his downfall. Mario Gotze was born on the 3rd of June 1992 in Memmingen, Bavaria. He would be the middle child, with both of his brothers playing football in the lower tiers of German football. He would start playing football from a very young age, playing for SC Rosenberg, a local club near Memmingen, from the age of 3, from 1995 to 1998. His father, being a teacher, would receive another job offer from a university near Dortmund, which prompted the family to move there. He would then enlist into the ranks of FC Eintracht Frankfurt, where he would quickly stand out among the other kids for his skills. Christian Dörse, his coach at the time, said that Mario never had to look down like the other boys. He always knew what the ball was doing. Also adding that on the pitch it doesn't matter how old you are. All that counts is whether you can play. And Mario was quite simply the best. He stayed a total of 3 years with FC Eintracht Frankfurt, but being simply the best as described by the coach, you attract the eyes of the big clubs. Borussia Dortmund, being the powerhouse in the region, would take notice pretty fast of the young talent, managing to secure Mario in the academy at just 8 years old in 2001. He would progress easily through the ranks, waiting for his first team shot, and that chance came in the winter of 2009-2010 season after stellar performance in the Under-17 European Championship, which saw Germany win the tournament and Mario receiving the award for the best player of the tournament. Jurgen Klopp would promote Mario Gotze to the first team and, not wanting to rush things, would offer Mario just 41 minutes of actual playtime in 5 appearances that season. The next season, with Borussia Dortmund exiting early in every other competition, they had their eyes on the Bundesliga title, and with no external pressure they would go on to win 2 weeks before the final match, their first title since 2001. This was the season that his professional career truly started. He would go on and cement himself as a first team choice, managing to score 8 goals and make 16 assists in 41 appearances across all competitions. An extraordinary feat for an 18-year-old player on his debut season. He would also start strong in the next season, managing 10 goals or assists in his first 14 Bundesliga matches, not even playing the 90 minutes most of the time. But unfortunately, he would develop serious problems with his hip, which would impede his movement, and because of the injury, he would go on and be sidelined for 5 months. Borussia would still go and win the DFB Pokal and the Bundesliga that year. He would score 7 and assist another 8 in 26 appearances, but if it wasn't for the injury, who knows what his numbers would have looked like, because the next season he was simply magnificent. He would go on to score 16 goals and make 20 assists in 44 games across all competitions. Dortmund would go on and lose the Bundesliga title to Bayern in a categorical manner. Even if his numbers were impressive in the league, the Champions League was truly where he would excel. With 2 goals and 8 assists in 11 matches, he would help Dortmund reach the finals, passing Shakhtar, Malaga and Real Madrid in the way. It was during the Real Madrid semi-final that Bayern would do what Bayern does best: poach the rising stars from the Bundesliga. They would activate his release clause and announce his signing as their new player for the next year, maybe wanting to make some waves in the Dortmund locker room, since there was a possibility that the two would meet in the finals, and so it happened. But unfortunately for Mario, he would pick up a muscle injury and would miss the final altogether, which saw Dortmund crumble in the 89th minute to their German counterparts as Bayern secured the Champions League. The next season saw him play under Guardiola, a dream for Mario at the time. Playing in a squad full of world-class players meant he would face fierce competition for his place. He would still manage to put up serious numbers, 15 goals and 13 assists in 45 appearances, managing to secure the domestic treble with Bayern. Performances which would secure him a call-up for the 2014 World Cup. He would play the full 90 minutes only in the debut group stage game against Portugal, providing an assist to help Germany secure a 4-0 victory. And with a goal against Ghana in the second group game, he would be offered less and less minutes across the competition, even being dropped from the squad in the semi-finals against Brazil. But in the 88th minute of the final against Argentina, he was told by Joachim Löw to go and show the world he was better than Lionel Messi, as he went in to replace Miroslav Klose. In the extra time, he would stop a cross from Andreas Schürrle with his chest and place the ball inside the goal with his left foot. The game would go on and finish 1-0. Germany were world champions. Mario was the hero. The next season would see the young superstar receive more minutes from Guardiola, but his numbers would start to decrease. Even though he played 500 more minutes throughout the season, he would score only 15 goals and assist 7 in a total of 48 appearances. He would go on and defend the Bundesliga title with Bayern that season. Then came the 2015-2016 season, a season that Mario probably wants to forget. He would play very few minutes, suffering an injury that saw him sidelined for several months, and also started to experience fitness issues that put in question his commitment and determination to play the game. He would go on to score 6 and assist 4 in 21 games in his last season for Bayern. His move to Bayern per total a disappointment. He would return to Borussia Dortmund the next season, stating that he regretted leaving in the first place 3 years prior. It was in his first season with Borussia that he was diagnosed with myopathy, a muscular disorder which affects the fibers in the muscle, an illness that is usually associated with weight gain, possibly explaining his lack of fitness at the end of his spell with Bayern. Even before the illness, he was struggling with form and to be a starter at Borussia. He would end the season with 2 goals and 2 assists in just 16 matches, a notable decline in his numbers. In his 4-year stint with Borussia, he would struggle to get the foot in the door and keep his position as a starter, struggling often with injuries. Throughout his second stint with the Yellow and Black, he would manage to make a total of 103 appearances, scoring 14 goals and making 17 assists, numbers he would put in one season easily in the best. To be fair, he was playing less minutes but was nowhere near the level he once had. After 4 years with Borussia, he would move to PSV Eindhoven in the Eredivisie in order to try to rebuild his career. In his first season, he would face again the problems that have plagued his whole career. Injuries, losing 12 appearances in the Eredivisie alone due to injuries. It was his second season that was the highlight of his stay in the Netherlands. He would manage to stay fit throughout the season and catch a bit of form, but still having long spells without any goals or assists. He managed to win the Dutch Cup and Super Cup that season with PSV. He would go on and score 12 and assist another 11 in a total of 52 matches. His antics in the Dutch league wouldn't go unnoticed, as Eintracht Frankfurt would consider a €3 million price tag low enough to gamble and bring the now 30 years old player back to the Bundesliga. This season he will go on and prove that he was worth the money Frankfurt paid for him, having a consistent season with no injuries in which he managed to score 3 and assist another 9 throughout 46 matches. Output which would be considered below par in his first seasons with Dortmund, but given his steep decline, a successful season nevertheless. In my opinion, the pressure put onto him when he was so young accelerated his decline. Being compared with arguably the best player in the world, Lionel Messi, is hard for any young player, especially for one that manages to score the winning goal against Lionel Messi's team in the final of the World Cup. For example, Andreas Schürrle, fellow World Cup winner and provider of the assists in the final, would follow the same trajectory. A young footballer who delivered on the biggest of stages, pressured to become one of the best in the world and crumbling under it. Would Mario Götze's career take a different path if it wasn't for the immense pressure put on him to become the next big thing, or would the injuries get the best of him anyway? What do you guys think? I am happy for him that he got back to the Bundesliga and managed to stay fit throughout the season. In my opinion, if he manages to stay fit, he still has 2-3 years in him at the high level. Only the time will tell. If you got this far, I just wanted to thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and if so, you could always watch another one. My previous one about Ronaldinho should be on the screen right now. Give it a try, thank you again, and have a nice one.